Hey there, it's Kat, and this is Brews and Reviews. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about all the books I'm planning to read in October. I'm planning to take part in 2 readathons throughout October, at least as far as I know for now. Maybe I will add a third towards the Halloween end of October, but for now, 2 readathons is quite enough. The readathons I'm taking part in are the Camp Crystal Lake readathon, which goes throughout all of October, and the second is the Autumn Mixtape readathon, which runs from the 3rd until the 16th of October. I am going to be trying to double up across prompts for both of the readathons so that I can cover 2 prompts per 1 book, because, you know, I want to make my life simpler, not harder. So speaking of simple, I think the simpler readathon to explain is probably the Autumn Mixtape readathon. Information about both of the readathons will be in the description below, so you can go and check them out. But let's talk about what I'm planning to read for the Autumn Mixtape readathon first. Prompt number 1 is All Too Well, read a book with nature on the cover. For this prompt I'm planning to read Hide by Kirsten White. As you might be able to see, I mean it might just look like a black blob to you, but there is a tree here and there's lots of roots. To be honest, all I know about this one is that it's like a competition about people hiding in an abandoned fairground, and I'm guessing some like creepy shit happens as well. It feels like the right thing to read in the spooky season, plus it's tiny. I feel like that's a great choice, so I'm looking forward to reading this one and I hope I like it. The next prompt is WITCH. So for this one you either have to read a WITCH, Woman in Total Control of Herself book, or a witchy book. So for this one I'm picking Iron Widow by Xiran Jay Zhao, and I'm so glad that I'm finally going to pick this one up. I've been sort of waiting for the perfect time to read it, and I feel like this is the perfect book for this prompt because the main character is a pilot of one of these giant robots, and usually it's a woman and a man that get paired up together and the woman gets burnt out and dies, but she doesn't. Honestly, I'm just very excited about this book, and I want to see this woman be in total control of not only herself but everyone else. The next prompt is mixtape. So if I'm totally honest, I'm probably twisting this a little bit further than I should, but it's hard to pick an autumn song. So I thought, oh well, in autumn in the UK it gets dark earlier around this time and it's, you know, a bit depressing. But for some reason I thought of the song In the Shadows by the Rasmus, and I thought of Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. This is very, very loose interpretation of, you know, the repetition of the word shadows. I really don't think this one counts. However, it's also a free choice prompt, so this is the book I'm going to be reading for this. And I will read this one this time. You will stop seeing it on TBRs, I promise. The next prompt is California Dreamin', read an unseasonal read. So for this one I'm going to be reading The Tea Dragon Society by Kay O'Neill. This one's unseasonal because it seems to be like a summery read. There are people having a picnic in a summery area. That's good enough for me. Also, it looks really cute and I just can't wait to pick this one up. And the last reading prompt for this readathon is Down Under, read a translated book. So for this one I wanted to pick straight off my TBR, and I don't have that many translated books on here, so I went for Full Metal Alchemist, Volume 7. It's a manga. It's originally written in Japanese. It's translated. Yay! I feel like I've been a bit cheaty just picking a manga rather than like a full translated novel, but I was trying to pick something that already existed on my shelves, so yes. Sorry if the framing's changed a little bit, I just had to swap out my battery. So those are all the books I'm reading for the Autumn Mixtape readathon, and now I want to tell you about the Camp Crystal Lake readathon. This is a team-based readathon where there are all different prompts for each teams, and then you can also steal prompts from other teams. It involves watching movies as well as reading books, and I'm totally here for it. So I decided to join Camp Castle Dracula, and to be honest, the decision-making factor here was the film that the team need to watch, and that was Van Helsing, because that is one of my childhood movies. I just loved that movie when I was younger, and any excuse to rewatch it, really. The team book for Camp Castle Dracula is Crave, and honestly I'm not sure I'm going to read it because I don't currently own it, and nothing about it has ever made me want to pick it up, so I haven't. We'll see if I read that one. I probably won't though. So prompt number 1 is to read a book featuring a vampire. The book I'm choosing to read for this one is Pursued by Rebecca Rivard. This is a dark romance about like vampires being known to the world, and this woman who has to go back to her ex-Dampier lover who's like the crown prince of vampire syndicates. I don't know, just a smutty vampire read that should not be too difficult or taxing, which I'm totally here for right now. The next prompt is to read a book with a red cover, and for that one I'm going to be reading Iron Widow by Xiran Jay Zhao, because this is really quite red. There's some orange and yellow on it, but predominantly I would say this cover is red. Prompt number 3 is to read a book that includes a journey. For this one I've chosen to read The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty by A.N. Reclore. This is a book that's been written by Anne Rice under a pen name, and honestly I'm not surprised that she used a pen name for this book. I'm more surprised that it ever got published, given its synopsis. This is a book I'm reading purely for a Complaints with Cat video, so if you like those and you're over 18 then keep an eye out for that, because I'm 2 chapters into this book already and oh wow. Oh wow. The general plot of this book is that it's a erotic Sleeping Beauty retelling, except it's not really erotic, it's very rapey. Anyway, so I'm going to be reading that for a Complaints with Cat video if you guys want to see that. And that's what counts for this prompt. The next prompt is to read a book set in a country that is not my own, and for that one I'm going to be reading Verity by Colleen Hoover. I'm finally going to dip my toe into the Colleen Hoover pool and see how I feel about it, really. Not really sure. I put it off for a long time because I didn't really think that it was something I would enjoy, and I've just been talking to a bunch of people who really like Colleen Hoover's work, so I thought Verity is currently free on Audible till the end of October, so why not? Anyway, it's set in New York and then maybe Vancouver. Anyway, it's not the UK, so that counts, right? And the last prompt for Team Castle Dracula is to read a book with a strong female character, and for that one I'm going to be reading Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. See, I have to read this one. It's on 2 separate TBRs. I have to read it. I really need to read it. So those are all the books that I'm planning to read. Let me know if you think that I should prioritise any particular books on this list. If you've read any of them, let me know what you thought. And if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!